Welcome back to the Imperfect Action Show, where we actually interview entrepreneurs and figure out what are some of the things that are working in their business, how they're really helping people, and how they're really providing solutions out there, and how they move it imperfectly, right? Because we understand that taking action can be something that a lot that actually holds people up, but taking imperfect action is what's going to get you to that win. So on today's episode, we got someone that was actually helping his clients sue people to get to the win, which is very interesting because I'm in a lawsuit situation myself. So right now, so hopefully I can learn a couple things. Mr. Lawrence Hicks, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, 100%. So, you and I have been connecting over the past couple of weeks. What I know of you is that you're really helping people out there in the finance space. A lot of people find what trips them up is hurdles, right? These hurdles are like, with their credit, not having a financial literacy, right? Not really understanding, when they actually get access to maybe five figures or six figures, what to actually do with it, things like that. So, what got you in the space, and how are you becoming successful helping people?
Well, what got me in the space is, of course, having bad credit and needing some money to start a business. So I guess like everybody else.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and then I guess not having the funds to really, or I guess then it don't seem like credit repair was really that prominent as it is now for some reason. So it
Mm.
was just that whole YouTube University, that Google race to figure it out. And then I figured it out and started having success. And then I started helping the people around me to practice on my skills. And then once I knew that I really could fix credit, then I'm like, okay, well, I use this as a service. And also I learned how to get funding because I was the two things I was after fixing my credit and then getting some funding for my business. I was able to accomplish those. So it gave me two skills along the way.
Yo, so okay, let me ask you this. Couple things. Number one, seeing that we have a lot of people talking about credit repair or
Mhm.
funding. Well, let's say credit repair right now. That's super indicative of how many people out there have bad credit or credit that's not really, is going to get them to where they need to go. Because if all these people are helping you with credit, that's showing you that, they at once at some point had an issue with credit as well. And if you Google, I think the stat is like over 224 million Americans have they're suffering from the lack of having access to capital or just having really really subpar credit. So that's number one, and then number two, when it comes to that financial literacy piece, like what do you think that the disconnect is for most people? You think it's just traditional education? Why people don't they kind of hold on a second. They kind of get to the point where they're unable to understand which way to go because they're not. It's not commonplace to have those these type of conversations.
That's funny. I made a video about financial literacy. It's like school, even I think, is like probably one of the biggest traps. And I think that's the first thing, the psychological brainwashing that America does to people.
Yeah,
Go to school, pay your taxes, get a good job. But it's like most people that go to college are more in debt than the job that they can even get. So it's like, all right, something got to be wrong here if people getting out of school and still just can't even make it in life. And it makes life even tougher. So I'm like, all right, financial literacy is not a hocus pocus equation or something they teach you in school. It's really understanding how to get the best bang for your time because
mm,
spending your time and your energy is actually how you get the money. But some people are just spending their time, and it's not the best use of it. So
yeah,
that's what I think being financial literacy is. And then I always use the example, if you go to a car lot and just let them run your credit and you say just want a car, you may not be financially literate because what the financial literate person would do is they would go to their credit union and get the lowest rate, get pre-approved for that amount, and now they have bargaining power when they
mm,
go to the dealership. They can tell them that they're paying cash. So that's the difference between but they don't teach you that in school.
yeah.
So how to act in the economy and get the best bang for your time and money, that's what I realized I didn't know. And once I started getting those skills, I'm like, you know what? I really know this will help people.
So let's break that down real quick, right? Because I think that's a really good example. So you're saying the financial literate person is not going to the car lot without that, predetermined check in hand, knowing how much money they're gonna spend and knowing what their budget is, and knowing that, credit was ran one time versus someone that may be financially illiterate, like, yo, I want these Hot Wheels, this is nice, what can I qualify for, can I get this car, and they have no idea what's going on when they're running that credit, when they're trying to get somebody this deal. And I've been there before, right? It's like, yeah, let me get this car. I don't know what they're doing with my credit. I just filled out this application. So I don't know between them saying, "Hey, fill out this application," and you've been approved or not approved. I have no idea what's going on right there. So why don't you pick that up? Why is it important for someone to be more literate to make a move like that? Because I want to make sure people that are watching this are catching it.
And that's funny that you say that. Yeah, that brings us to the first part that you gotta know that your credit is even in order to have the power to even do that.
Mm,
So that understanding comes in because I always say a lot of times we aren't even taught how to just go get approved for anything we want at any time. That's how
yeah.
your credit should always be sitting. That's another thing, a financial literacy person, that's how they would act. Credit is always sitting good. They never have to worry. And sometimes people go and they just applying and really don't even know their credit situation, if they're gonna get approved
Mm,
or not. They just hoping they get approved. And
yeah.
then some
Yeah.
people play the
True.
score game. Oh, I got a high credit score. I always like to tell this story. When I first started out, I remember I had a 797 and my roommate had a 686, and I was getting approved for like $1,000 offers, and then she was getting approved for like 9,000. So you get 9 times as much as me, and I got 100 points higher score. So that said, all right, there's some investigation need to go on here. It's not just a score. So people haven't been taught that, how to build a real strong credit report and to know what that looks like. So you really can say, you know what, I can go here and get this. I can go here and get that. I don't just have to apply and wonder if I'm gonna get approved or not.
Man, you're going really crazy with that, man, because you're 100% correct. I think people are really fixated over the score. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, the score's sexy. The structure ain't sexy. You know what I realize is, like, things that people see, it's easier for them to believe. It's easier for them to attach there's something to. When you can't see it, it makes it less real. So, when we're looking at score versus the structure, I can't be like, yo, my structure's lit, bro. Like, check out my structure. Like having the right credit mix is not something that could flex tangibly for you to see, but
Mm-hmm.
the score is. But like you said with your example, right? You had a seven, seven and some change. She had the six, the
797,
hot, yeah, she had the what, 698 or something, but she was getting
686.
9 times the power that you were getting approved for because she had the right mix, she had the right profile. So I think understanding that is super important as well, because the score, I assume, is going to increase, but the structure, you put some things in order, let those season, cook a little bit, and then, like you said, you're in a better position to go get the things that you want. And I really like how you said that. Like, it's better to know my credit is in a great sound position, so whatever move I make, I can make it confidently,
Mm-hmm.
versus I'm hoping and wishing that this is gonna go through when I apply for something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a big bar right there. So, what's some of the power behind having that type of leverage? Like, what are some of the things that someone can do? With a good score. Having that type of leverage. What are some of the I guess I wouldn't call them cheat codes, or let's call them power moves. What are some of the power moves people don't know that if they have really good credit and access, they can use as leverage to benefit them?
Like, I have one of my mentees, he wanted to do real estate. So
Mm.
you got good credit, you in position. Now you just need the funds. Now you need somewhere to get the funds from. So I'll say, all right, here's this banker I know. Go to this bank and then get you a $50,000 line of credit, and they're gonna give you a credit card too. So now you're gonna have about 70 grand. I'm like, "All right, go to this other bank and get that other $50,000 line of credit. You have about 120,000. So now you got the funds to invest in real estate and be as rich as you want. So the whole getting rich and wealthy process, I just simplified it by just having good credit. So it's like, why don't people? Yeah, it just seemed that simple. The only thing that would be missing in that equation is just knowing what to do with that endeavor. But
Yeah.
attaching to the funds is usually what people's excuse is.
Yeah, facts. Why do you think? And then I want to talk about what you do with the lawsuit stuff. But why do you think that people don't get that fixed? You know what I'm saying? Why do you think they prolong it as opposed to, all right, let me get on that right now?
That's a great question too. You dug real deep to the heart of it. Like, so I think it's a combination of things or different types of people. Some people may not have the knowledge and they seeking, and they don't realize that you probably can speed that up by going to someone who has the knowledge. But so it's kind of frustrating for them and they just give up. They like, man, I can't figure this out. Some people, they say, you know what, I want it, but I'm not putting myself in position to be able to afford it.
Mm.
And then there's the other person that, you know what, they don't even look at themselves as being worthy of living a
Uh,
good life. I think it's a self-esteem issue, because if you say,
that's
I
good.
want to be happy in life, I'm willing to take a risk to do my best, then that's all you spending your time on, really. It's like, all right, I see all these things out here that I want, and I see people in position that I want to be in. How do I get myself in that position? And if that's your mindset, or if that isn't your mindset, then that could be the reason why you're not trying to fix it.
Yo, that's good, man. That's actually really good because it makes me think of the late great Bob Proctor,
Mm-hmm.
who would always be speaking about the paradigm, right? So the paradigm is your mental programming.
Mm-hmm.
So if your mental programming is X and X is contributed to you being stuck, let's say, being financially, illiterate, or the way that you currently process stuff. And like you said, you see people that are doing things that you would like to do, and you want to aspire to that, but you're not taking care of X. It doesn't matter how many attempts that you do, or what you would like to do, because their programming is this. Like, it doesn't matter if I want to listen to, let's say, Michael Jackson's brand new album. If I only have the Thriller album, guess what's going to play? The Thriller album. I can hope and wish that his new records is on his album when I hit the play button, or when I turn the record on, or whatever the case may be. But it's only going to be that. Why? Because that album is programmed with those records. It can't be more than it is. So that was crazy what you said right there. And it made me think about Bar Proctor, because if people get down to that root, they can kind of unlock what their brilliance is. So I had this conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and it's like, when you're born with creativity, you're born in God's image, you're born with all these things. But
Mm-hmm.
then, like, the people around you, your parents, coaches, teachers, principals, your environment, it kind of teaches you things indirectly. It shapes you indirectly. Then it's kind of like, you're malleable within, let's say, this glass. Even
Mm-hmm.
though there's way things outside this glass, if I move this glass, the water would go everywhere. I don't believe that it will go everywhere, because this is what I was taught. It just goes in here.
Mm-hmm.
So until you fix this, you can't really you can't fix that. So for you, what was something that helped you, let's say, remove your ex, and help you get on new paradigm and new program, so you can become successful and actually start teaching and leading people and helping people with your mentorship?
That's funny that you asked me that. I always say, I'm not sure, like, what, I always say the smaller voice. It's always a calmer voice that always been talking to me since I was a child. And I always said, you're going to be very successful. You're going to be somebody that the world remember. So even though I grew up in poverty and in those type of situations, I was always pushing forward for that voice. Like, no matter what, that's what always made me feel like when I went to a situation, I should be the best at it. And whatever work I got to put in to be the best at it, because that's my only self esteem builder. I don't know how to feel good about myself unless I'm really trying to put myself in the best positions in life, because that's the way I feel about myself. And so if that voice has always been talking to me like that, what else am I to do? Just go to work, right?
Did you talk to yourself calmly like that?
No, it's the voice. That's what I say. I tell you,
But but
it's really.
is that how you envision how the voice speaks to you, like very calm like that?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That, I swear it's like that, because it's like you gotta key in to listen,
Yeah.
because when you just go and rush and do something, it's that louder voice in your head. It's the one you listen to. But when you mess up or you think, you go back and you always think like it was another voice telling me what I should have did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you always remember that.
Yeah, that's actually a really really good point. And I was mentioning to you about the voice, right? What's the tonality that you hear? Because my voice is always loud and aggressive. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
you
the
know what I
wrong
mean?
one. You got too small a child. You need to.
You know what I'm saying? My voice is like, you know. So I was curious how, if yours is similar, if yours is, because I kind of like yours. Yours is like, listen, you're a multimillionaire. You're the greatest. Like everything that you do is gonna be fruitful and be abundant. Um, so that
You
that's
got it
really
in
dope.
you.
That makes
You
a
got
lot of
good voice.
sense.
Everybody do.
Yeah, that
I
makes a lot
believe
of
that.
sense.
That's my philosophy.
So I think that, and let me know what you think about this.
Okay.
You take that voice, and this is for people listening. Take that voice, put your affirmations on it, or whatever you're gonna say, whatever, however you speak to yourself. Take that voice, record that voice on your iPhone or whatever. Listen to that voice every day.
Okay.
Little 3 minute audio of yourself talking to yourself in real time, remind you of the things that you're driving towards.
Mm-hmm.
That
And you
that
know,
that
it's
be
funny
that
you
I
say
think
that.
that's good.
I always tell people, and that's another thing I think is what's missing too. You said something big, probably didn't even realize it.
Mm,
What you're driving to, I always say the end starts in the beginning. You already got a picture of how you want it to end. So, like you say, you setting small goals to get there every day. And whenever you think you're off track, you ask yourself,
yeah,
all right, where am I in the process?
yep.
You get back to it because you can really see that end goal. Sometimes people don't have the end goal in mind already. They just working for
Mm,
short term. They just trying to work for short term.
mm. So what would
And
be an
that's
example for short term, like trying to pay this bill on Friday?
You already know. And then you so tired from putting in so much work to get little production. Now you want to go release, you want to go party, you want to relax. So you
Mm,
don't even have enough energy to even
mm.
keep going like you should because you working 3 jobs and you getting paid $10 an hour at 3 jobs instead of really honing down, getting some skills to where you can make way more money in less time and less energy.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's big, bro. That's big. All right, so let's talk about the suing situation. So how did you get into that space? Because that's very unique. You hear about lawsuit, civil, criminal, maybe a scam situation or whatever the case may be, but you don't always hear about someone that's helping people kind of navigate that. Like, you know what I mean? So I even use my example, but I wanna know how you got into that, and how have you been able to help people with that.
Were you going to tell your example first or you want me to go?
I want you to go, and then I'll tell you my example.
So basically, funny backstory. I've always wanted to be a lawyer. If I could go back before I started getting in trouble, I would have been a lawyer. So, and I still may more pursue it, but so I've always been making myself familiar with the law, court
Mm,
processes, and then actually getting in trouble, being on the other side of the system, you get to feel how it operate as well. So,
yeah,
but
yeah,
all of those combined to want to help the criminals, and then they treat you like a criminal. So it's like, okay, these are different angles. So it give you a fuller picture. And so I was going through with the disputing process. And when you're doing research and you're diligent at something, you keep coming up with different avenues. So I came across the avenue where they was talking about, the credit bureau is really probably not going to come to court if you sue them because it's not as advantageous than just deleting it. It
yeah.
takes too much time and energy and money to come to court every time. And if everybody is suing, not going to court. So that's the first thing. Like, okay, the second thing is they actually are violating people when you sending stuff in and you got the right thing and they just send you a verified. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay, that's wrong. What do I do now?
yeah,
Either leads people to frustration or they just don't do nothing. So that's another answer to your question of why people don't fix it. Maybe they tried and just couldn't get results and they just like,
mm,
dang, who can help me?
got you.
So that was the thing. So it's like, all right, all that stuff is going on. So I like to put things in action. I always say you don't know something unless you've actually done it or experienced it. Just
Yeah,
because you heard something work, you can't be like, oh, I know this. I don't
yeah,
think you can say that. So I'm like, all right, I got to try it. So my roommate was having an issue with a collection. We sued the collection company, and then we sued the um, credit bureau. So we sued them both. But to sue them, you gotta understand the law, all the different type of laws. And then I didn't know as much Fair Credit Reporting Act or FDCPA as I do now. So I just had to figure out a way where I can sue them where we didn't have to talk about the law. So I
Mm.
asked them, so I'm like, what are they doing that's just a crime? And I came up, I'm like, defamation of character. If I'm telling you something is wrong, you continue to report it, and these companies checking my credit report, it looked like I'm a bad person that don't pay bills or I'll be late when this shouldn't even be on my credit report. You
Yeah.
defaming my name.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, we got it. The loophole around that. So we went, filed for the defamation of character against the collection agency and then the credit bureau. Equifax, we won. They had to pay $1,000 to cut her a check for that. And then the collection company, I've never seen a company be this scared to come to court. They were just, what do you want us to do? Please just tell us what you want us to do so you can go in there and cancel the lawsuit. So I'm like, oh, this is an easy one. Just remove it from the credit report. So yeah, it was that simple. So it was like, all right, dang, the credit bureau, they didn't even show up. The credit bureau, we ended up putting the pressure on the collection agency.
Mm.
So we like, dang, what they said was true. The collection agency was just like, oh, we rather even give you some money than show up. So I'm like, oh,
So the
this is
collection
fun.
agency paid you, so you made money on that suit. They paid you to just wipe their hands of it.
No, it was the credit bureau. We had got the default judgment because they ain't even show. So we got money from
Oh,
the credit bureau and then
yep.
got the collection agency to remove the account.
That's crazy. I mean, listen, that sound major right there. So I like what you said. A lot of these companies are violating. They know people don't know the law. They know people are not going to follow through, so they're going to make more money. Which I think is kind of wild that the government's kind of just letting this fly in retrospect. However, like you said, the information is there, so anyone can learn it and apply it, or work with someone like yourself and your team to help them with the process. So I don't know if my situation would work then, but maybe. So it wasn't with a collection agency. It was with a bank and then Zelle. So like Bank of America. So
You
basically
cut
my
out.
situation is, huh?
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm
You
still
must
here.
be all the way.
Yep.
You a still screen on my end.
Yeah. It
All
says
right,
it
you back.
says yeah, it says the actual recording high quality is higher. Myself, I'm super clean. I think
I'm clean
yours.
on my end, but you
Yeah, yeah,
foggy.
yeah,
Now you
yeah.
just foggy.
Yeah, it's cool
Okay.
because what Riverside does is they clean the video after. So if your side says if your side looks clean and my side looks clean, it's gonna be a clean video. Because it says actual
Okay.
recording is higher quality. So I think we'll be all right.
Okay.
So my situation was I sent my boy $1,200 from Bank of America using Zelle. He's sitting right next to me, right? I said, "Yo, is this right?" He said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Cool." Boom, hit the button. $1,200 goes, but it don't go to him. Goes to somebody else. We go to the bank. I'm like, "Hey, listen, I just sent him some money with his number or his email, whatever it was at the time. Can you pull up his account? We want to make sure that the information is correct. Checked it. It's his real information. Then email's correct and his name and number's correct. It just went to somebody else. So then, I make Bank of America aware of the situation. They're like, yeah, this is a typo, this is a mess up, whatever, on our side. But because it went to somebody else's account, we can't pull it out. They have to approve, they have to give us the approval to pull the money out. So I'm like, so the money can just go in the account. You can't snatch it. They gotta approve, they gotta say yes, take it out. So that person clearly didn't approve because they just got $1,200 for free. I go to the I go to court. I send Bank of America a notice. I'm taking you to court. Send Zella notice. I'm taking you to court. Then when I get to court, um, the case gets thrown out. The judge is like, he was like, yeah, there's nothing I can do. Bank of America's like, it ain't our fault. Zella's like, it ain't our fault. You know what I'm saying? So then I'm hot at this point. I'm like, I had to pay my guy another 1,200, so I'm out 2,400 at the time. Um, but yeah, like I didn't know the law. I didn't know, how I could have maneuvered out of that situation. So I ended up having to pay out. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, based on what you're saying, if I was if I was more privy to, my consumer law, or like what I could do, what I couldn't do, how I could actually sue them and win with the right, you know, law and information, it probably would have ended up on the other side.
The only thing that's troubling me with that situation is they got a thing, and you contracting every time you're doing business. They got verbal contracts, they got written contracts, they got some what they call
Electronic
implied
contract. Oh yeah.
implied in fact. So that means you go into a restaurant, you sit down to eat. It's implied in fact that you gonna pay for your food, even though
Yes.
y'all don't got an agreement. So like that. So when you click that button right before it sends, that notice that Zelle tells you, hey, look, this is one time. If you don't know who this go to, you out the money. When you click that button, you kind of agree that, hey, whatever happens after I click this button, it's up because
Yeah.
Zelle just told you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, in that moment, what do you want us to do? It's like, it's like we told you. That's just
Hmm.
like an intruder. You got a big sign out there saying, "I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
You come in here." He come in
Yeah.
there and get shot, and he try to
Yep.
sue you.
Yeah. Facts. Facts. Yep.
So in
Wow.
that case, that's why everybody just like, because it's like, hey, what do you want us to do?
Yeah. Facts. So yeah,
So in
that
that
was my
scenario,
situation for sure. So I was I
yeah,
was
you probably have to take responsibility.
I was tied at them for a while, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. This was like 2018, I think. I think like 2018, maybe early 2019 or something.
Learn
Um,
the lesson of just being, I guess, more detailed. But they said it was on their end, though, right? So it was nothing y'all could have did different.
I couldn't have done. It was his information. It's like I'm with you right now.
Okay, well then I would have sought a legal advice then, because in
Yeah,
that scenario, I would think that it would have to be something else because you did all you were supposed to do.
yeah. I feel like I did that, and then after a while, I just got exhausted and I just stopped. But I mean, that's pretty much what happened, man. But I
And then
think
to
what
be
you got,
clear,
huh?
I ain't going to cut you off. To be clear, a lot of people do think that when I start talking about suit, oh no, he a lawyer. So I be having people hit me up and look, I just got this lawsuit. What should I do? I'm like, now I specifically help the credit bureaus settle. We go
Yeah,
after the credit bureaus or the
yep.
collection agency, and it's really not to go to court. I want to say this process is for you to never end up in court.
Hmm.
So it's about presenting or disputing in a way to where the evidence is clear. When you sue them and they go and look at the evidence, they're like, you know what? It wouldn't make us no good to go to court with this person. They got us. So it's like settling is really our only option, to go to court and look stupid. You can't go around the facts no matter how good of a lawyer you are. Like,
Yeah, facts.
the
Yeah,
facts are the
facts are
facts. Hey,
facts.
look, this is the law. So you're supposed to do this. You
Yep.
didn't do that. So you just violated me, and this is clear. So that's why I tell people the dispute process for good evidence, so we make sure we can get the settlement. And it's strictly, like I said, if it's the collection agency or the credit bureaus.
Yeah, 100%. All right, man. So let's talk about the mentorship. So give me a little bit of rundown on mentorship, how you helping people in that space, and why would it be a good place for people to learn, what you teaching and doing in real time to better their lives.
And in the mentorship as well, since I educated myself since then on the simple process, we teach them how to sue in the federal court. So now you can use your federal laws and all those things. It's just a little more process. So that's one of the things in the mentorship if you need to sue on the federal level. And then, of course, we bring them in. We're gonna fix their credit for free, or that's included in the service. So when you come in a mentorship, you don't even got to worry about credit repair. Then we're gonna teach you about credit repair as well. So learn all about credit repair. We're gonna teach you about how your business need to look, how your personal credit need to look, where you always walking around to get approved for anything at any time, the business funding, how your business should look, the different industries, how to even set your business up, and then of course the business funding sequence. That's college on steroids because you're gonna pay me that 3,097 in a couple of weeks. You're gonna learn how to get somebody 100, 200, $300,000, and you get 10%.
Hmm.
What? And that's 3,000 in a couple of weeks. People don't have those opportunities going to school for 4 years. So
That's facts.
that's why I say it's school on steroids. So you're gonna learn that business funding sequence, and then I have the connects for your trust account if you want to structure your business and really build wealth and get all the tax advantages and all those other things that come with a trust and the anonymity. And then I have my life insurance connect to where if you want to do the infinite banking to where you building your own bank and getting that policy to where it's building cash for you like that. So we offering that as well. And then I've been a luxury car dealership for the past 12 years. So I teach people how to open a car dealership, how to fund it. I've been in real estate going on
Yeah,
8 years
I'm gonna
next
need
year.
that. I'm gonna need a car dealership play for sure.
Look, I got you. That's why I say I've been a realtor, been real estate. I'm a realtor and I own a real estate company for the past 8 years, building homes from the ground up and renovating them. So I teach people that process of how you get started in real estate, whether it be the funding or whatever avenue you want to go to. So, and then jury. I like jury. That was funny. I had a fire in 2014. I lost everything. Apartment burned down to the ground. And one of the two things that saved me was having great credit. And I had a jury policy that the jury got burnt and I was able to cash in on the policy. So I
Mm.
teach people how to really maximize when they buy jewelry, what good jewelry to buy, where it at, how to turn it into investment versus just spending it. So yeah, all of that's in the mentorship. So that's basically what you're paying for
Bro, that
and
sounds
what I will help
crazy.
you
That sounds crazy, man. How can people get access
with.
to applying for the mentorship? How can they learn a little bit more about that, and then how they're able to connect with you?
I'm gonna give you the links, and then definitely, on my Facebook, I have my link tree. On Instagram, I have my link tree. On my YouTube channel, the link is on there, and I'm gonna give them a discount just because they're your people. If they come from you,
Mm.
they can either just say your name and they'll get the 1,000 off. It's usually 3,097, but for your people, it'll only be 2,097.
Okay, so 2097. And is this a program where there's no access to you and your team? Is this a program where there's weekly access? Like what's the involvement in the
Look
support?
at you. You earning that money I slipped you before the video. It was because I left that part out. You actually 2 times a week. No, I'm just playing about slipping the money. Let me stop. I was saying, but 2 times a week we got Zooms where you get direct access to me. So that's one of the other benefits. A lot of times I hear people say, even people that's joined my mentorship, they say, "Oh, I was in this other mentorship, but I can't really talk to the guy." It's
Hmm.
like he's like, so I need access to him. So that's one of the other benefits. You can actually get access to me twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we can talk. We sorting out any issue you got.
I 100%. So guys, that link will be below. Lawrence is gracious enough to give you a special discount. Take advantage of it, $1,000 off. Like I said, the link will be below. Learn all this information: real estate, credit, life insurance. That jewelry insurance, the infinite baking, funding. Which the funding play alone, I think, getting your credit. I mean, getting your credit structured, getting your business structured properly, and then getting access to funding well more than pay for the investment that you're going to make. So make sure you click the link below and lock in with Lawrence. If they want to talk to you, let's say on the gram and get with you there, where do they need to go?
IOMD as in dog, U, and then B as in boy. So IOMDUB, and then the number 4. You see me there with the red bow tie.
100%.
And
Anything
then
else that you want to give and share with the people?
oh no, I'm gonna give them Facebook too. So
Oh
the
yeah,
Facebook it'll be
let's get to it.
Lawrence LAWRENCE, middle initial A, and then Hicks HICKS. And then of course you can follow the YouTube channel. It's AAIT Enterprises. So AAIT and then ENTERPRISES.
All right, guys.
And
So look, all of that stuff will be below because I want to make sure that you'll get the right links. And you said
yes, yes.
you were saying one more thing.
Oh no, I was just saying, and all of the products and everything, because I offer a lot of other services too. Like we just offer the credit audit, and then you can get the credit sweep. Or we didn't even talk about the guaranteed credit repair. So that's one
Oh
thing we offer
yeah,
too.
We can get it done. Let's do that before we let them go. Let's talk about the guarantee with the credit repair.
Oh yeah, we got an offer where basically it would say we can get anything removed, whether it be a bankruptcy, a student loan, child support, late payments, whatever someone is struggling with. We can guarantee that we can get it removed within 2 to 4 months, or we're gonna give them every dollar back. That's how confident that we know we can go to work for you. Now it's not cheap, but the best things usually aren't cheap, and I like to look at it. People I come to me and they said they've been really literally trying to get credit repair for 2 years, three, like these are real stories. So I'm thinking about all the opportunities I would have missed with bad credit for 2 years. And if someone could just tell you a dollar amount and you can get it done in less than 4 months,
Sounds
wouldn't you
like
have just done
magic.
that?
Sounds like magic.
That's what I'm basically. If somebody could just hit the magic wand, if you would have went back, you would have been willing to pay whatever dollar amount, because on the other side of good credit, there's hundreds of thousands and multi-millions on the other side of good credit. So
Yeah.
someone that realizes that, say, you know what, the best way to approach this is to find something I feel is guaranteed, or I don't lose my money, and I can get it done in a short bit of time.
And then what's the price point? Is that, do they get access to that in the mentorship? Or is that something totally different?
Now that's the best part about it. That service is sold separately. Is $2,500 usually, but when you join a mentorship for $3,097, that's included.
Nah, you just went crazy right there, bro. Listen. My man said he gonna fix your credit for free, pretty much magically, right? You're gonna get access to infinite banking information. You're gonna get access to structuring your business properly. The credit is already done. You're gonna get access to funding, where you can get 10% of everyone that you help get funded. So essentially, he helped me get a business right there. He's giving me access to the jewelry insurance situation, where y'all know that you got no insurance on your jewelry. Let's just keep it a buck. Y'all know there's probably 5% of y'all watching right now that actually has the insurance. Plus opening up the dealership. Plus, if you wanted to learn about real estate on a residential side, get your own brokerage, get that set up, get your own agents underneath you. Plus all the wealth of knowledge that he's probably adding to his bank in real time. I'm pretty sure it's giving back to his meetings, and you get the 2 calls every single week. I don't know what else y'all want. To be perfectly honest with you, you need to click the link below. Get with Lawrence. If you have any other questions, hit him up on Facebook or Instagram directly. But this has been great, bro. Is there anything else that you want to share with the people?
If you're struggling and you want to get on the other side of that great credit, it makes me feel good to help you and to see you get on that other side. So if you say you're really looking for that with no fluff, let me be selfishly and help you. Let me get my joy from seeing you do better.
I like that, man. That's crazy. So listen, y'all, this has been another episode of the Imperfect Action Show. He's Lawrence Hicks. He's going to magically make your credit woes disappear, plus help you with a bunch of other things. But listen, make sure that you guys tap in with him, and we'll see you guys on another episode.